Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. So today we're going to study about character. Character is one of the five elements of a story. As you all know, we have five to seven elements of a story that includes settings, conflict, plot, theme, character, and point of view, etc. So we're going to just only focusing on character today. So to give you an overview, I'm going to just tell you the two types of characters today. So let's get started. What is a character? Character is the person or an animal that portrays in the story. It can be any sort of character in fable. There are animals. So is the person. It can be a one person or it can be more than a one person. Yes, so character is the person or animal that portrays in the story, and character has six types: protagonist, antagonist, dynamic, flat, round, and stoic. So, what we're going to study, we're going to just look at what is character exactly, and we're just going to only focusing on the two main or the two crucial types of the character, the protagonist and the antagonist. All right, so let's get started. Every story needs character. Your protagonist is the main character, and they are the primary character interacting with the plot and the conflict. If you're confused about the plot and conflict, I'm gonna just add add the link of both of these videos. So, plot is again the sequence of events, it is a list or sequence of events in the story, and conflict is more like a climax, alright, that comes after the rising action. Alright, so every story, of course, needs characters. Your protagonist is the main character, and they are the primary character interacting with the plot and the conflict. Whatever the sequence, whatever the events are happening in the story, the protagonist or the other character, the antagonist, also are supposed to interact with that. You might have multiple protagonists or secondary protagonists. Alright, so in the story, it is not solely. Important to have only one character. There can be more characters, secondary protagonists. That means an antagonist works against your main character's goal to create conflict or to create tension. It opposes the protagonist. So, there are short stories and even some plays that have only one character, but most stories have several characters. Not every minor character needs to be well developed and have a story arc, but your major players should. So, they're saying that there are stories and even some plays that have only one character, but most stories have several characters. So, they're just going to giving you an idea that it is not crucial to have only one character. It can be it is more than okay to have more than one character in the story. Your characters don't have to be a human or humanoid either. Animals or supernatural elements can be characters too. All right, so in fables, for example, there are animals in the jungle, all right, or in the house. So it is not mandatory that they are supposed to be human, that they can be anything. The characters are the people, animals, beings, or personified objects driving a story. Personified objects, it is just giving you an idea of being personified. That means personification, when you give human trait or the human character to a non-living object. For example, cupboard, for example, kettle. So they're speaking, they're behaving like a human, they're talking, right? So a story can have many characters or just one main character as the focus. Going back to our example, the Hunger Games focuses on Katniss, but there are many supporting characters that play a major role in her story. So the Hunger Games focuses on Katniss, which is our main character, but other than this character, we have multiple characters, multiple supportive characters that is playing a very crucial role in the story. Hammett, Peter, Gale, Rue, and many, many more. On the other hand, Edgar Allan Poe's poem The Raven has only three: the narrator, Lenore, and the Raven, but that's plenty for an exciting tale. Your story's characters should be compelling, whether good or evil. You need your reader to invest and care about their journey. So, what kind of characters does your story need? All right. So we're just going to, just try to comprehend what sort of characters a story must have. There are many different kinds of character, but most stories include these two common types. As I told you earlier, we have dynamic, flat, round, and etc. But majority of the stories contain protagonist and antagonist. So protagonist is the good character, is often opposed, exploited, or victimized. On the other hand, antagonist is the bad character. It causes problems and sufferings to other characters. Alright? So just to give you an overview, protagonist you need to keep in mind is a good character, whereas antagonist is the bad character. Let's read it aloud what they're saying. The protagonist is typically the good guy in your story, the one the reader is rooting for. The main character is super important and central to your plot. Plot is again the sequence of events. They're often trying to overcome the conflict while finding themselves at odds with their next character type. Alright, so what they try to do, they just try to, they're, as I have said earlier, that they're the good guys, no? So they're just going to, minimize the conflict, whatever the bad has happened, what is going to happen in the story or has already happened. So they're just going to minimize that, and they're also going to work against the antagonist. The antagonist of your story doesn't have to be a single person. It can be any character, group, or force that it at odds with your protagonist. This doesn't mean that they have to be evil or the bad guy, but the antagonist is often pushing the conflict onto your protagonist. Alright, so antagonist, what you need to do, it causes problems, but it is not mandatory to that it should be a one person. It can be a group of people, alright, a force, an abstract idea that opposes the mission to the of the protagonist. Yes. So I hope everything is clear to you. Character is the person or animal that portrays in the story, and it has six main types. But today we only discussed about protagonist and the antagonist, which are the most crucial, or they're found in the majority in all of the stories. I hope everything is clear to you. If you have any confusion regarding character, and you need to keep in mind that character is one of the element of a story, and that's it about character. Bye bye.